morning, Minister.
Aber hat er gerade noch gesagt, oder? Warum der Kanadier? Nee, nicht der Kanadier. Die Pepco. Ja. Wie gesagt, kann ich das. Nee, doch, dieser Feld besteht.
Good morning. Good to see you all. Just a quick doorstep before we start with today's meetings. Clearly, a lot happened yesterday in the meeting, but also in the media. And no doubt that will be debated today and over the coming days and weeks. But there's also a clear convergence emerging. We all want peace in Ukraine, rather sooner than later. We all want Ukraine to be in the best possible position when those talks start, to make sure that they can be concluded successfully. And as also Pete Hegseth said yesterday, the new American Secretary of Defense, it is crucial that whatever comes out of those talks, it is durable, it is enduring. No Minsk III. We cannot have that again. We cannot have Putin again trying to capture a square kilometer, a square mile of Ukraine in the future. Then, of course, we will also discuss today spending. We have to spend more, not only because the US expects that, because they expect Europe to take its and pay its fair share. But also we have to spend more because we know the threat coming from Russia and from other adversaries is increasing. And that will be debated today. And here I think there is a clear expectation from the side of the US, but also a clear commitment yesterday that this alliance is here to stay for the generations to come. And we will discuss today the defense industrial base. how to produce more. We are not producing enough. And this is a collective problem we have from the US up to and including Turkey and including the whole of the European Union, Norway, UK. We have fantastic defense industries, but we are not producing enough. We are producing in 3 months an ammunition. No, I would say Russia is producing in 3 months an ammunition, what the whole of the alliance is producing in a year. And this is simply not sustainable. We have to ramp up the defense industry production. So these issues will be on the table today in the Ministers of Defense meeting, and then afterwards also in the lunch we will have with Minister Umerov of Ukraine, where we discuss the relations between NATO and Ukraine. So thank you very much. Maybe a few questions. I can only do one question at a time. Yes.
Okay. Do you think that Secretary Hax's rhetoric that we heard yesterday was in any way harmful to NATO, just the way he talked?
As I said, Secretary Hax, but also what later came out of Washington, clearly were big announcements, and at the same time, this is how an alliance should be governed. We are an alliance of democracies, we need to debate, and also I see a clear convergence, as I said, that we want peace, that the peace has to be enduring, that we have to make sure that Ukraine is in the best possible position, and for the Europeans to step up in defense spending, and collectively to step up the defense industrial production. So here there is a clear convergence.
It's clear that
Sir, yes.
it's clear that things have changed here. What direction is this alliance now going?
This alliance is a family, as Pete Hegseth says yesterday, and so many others. It is there for generations to come. We are there to make sure that we have the best possible deterrence in place to fight off any adversary now and in the future, but it means that we have to get to a good deal in Ukraine. We have to ramp up defense spending, we have to ramp up defense industrial production. These are clear tasks we collectively have. We will debate them. We might not always agree immediately, but as always in the end, we come to common positions.
So you have said, your mantra has been, no decisions about Ukraine without Ukraine. Yesterday we saw Donald Trump having a phone call with President Putin without Ukraine. He's going to meet President Putin without Ukraine. This looks to many like the beginning of the betrayal of Ukraine.
What we have seen yesterday was the statements coming out of Washington, including, and you forget to mention that, his long phone call with President Zelensky. So we will see how this progresses from now on, step by step. Of course, it is crucial. We talk about Ukraine, that Ukraine is closely involved in everything happening about Ukraine.
General Liz Friedman with Fox News representing the U.S. press corps.
Aye.
For doing this. Do you consider President Trump's phone call with Putin the beginning of the peace negotiations?
It clearly gives that impression that it was a successful phone call. We all want peace in Ukraine. Obviously, we have to make sure that Ukraine is in the best possible position. It is crucial that when a peace deal is struck, that peace deal is enduring. That Putin knows that this is the end, that he can never again try to capture a piece of Ukraine. So that has to be part of those negotiations, and no doubt that is also on the mind of President Trump and the American team. And today and the coming days and the coming week, obviously we will closely coordinate between allies. Final question, and then we'll meet again at the post-ministerial press conference. So, yes.
This is the best possible position for Ukraine. Would it be even stronger and better if things like the return of occupied territory and NATO membership would still be on the table?
Well, what I've said before, I believe we have to make sure that we concentrate on the big issues. And the one big issue, number one, is to make sure when talks start, that Ukraine is in a position that Putin knows he has to come to the table. It is for him crucial to come to a deal on Ukraine, so Ukraine has to be in a strong position. And again, as I said before, it is crucial that when a deal is struck, that deal will not unravel. We have seen in 2014 what happened with Minsk. We thought that deal was there to stay. It didn't. Putin simply continued trying to grab pieces of Ukraine. And then on 2022 he started the full onslaught late February 2022. We can never ever have that again. So I'm absolutely pro-peace. I'm pro-peace talks. Absolutely. But at the same time we have to make sure that what comes out of those talks is there to stay. And that Ukraine then is safe. Thank you so much. We'll meet again later today.
Thank you so much.
schon zu? Minister Bart.
Please, a little respect for Mr. Kavanaugh. He's shaking all the time. You guys are pushing. No, it's really behind the. I'm sorry. You can help carry your backpack upstairs so we cannot allow that you go. Dat kan, want die moeten niet uit.
5% of defense spending is critical. A realization that there is a Russian war machine that has sought to take more and more land in Ukraine. And standing up against that is an important European responsibility. And of course, the United States has been there for a long time as well. My role as a representative of the United States is to speak realistically about the course of that conflict. And I think you saw from President Trump yesterday, who himself is the best negotiator on the planet, bringing two sides together to find a negotiated peace, which is ultimately what everyone wants. So I look forward to the Ministerial today with our NATO allies to have honest conversations about where we are, but to bring peace on the continent, ensure that Europe steps forward in leadership as far as security guarantees, and that America is right alongside our allies in NATO to ensure we remain strong and that this conflict comes to an end. I'll take one question. Yes, ma'am.
Isn't your plan for Ukraine actually a betrayal of all the Ukrainian soldiers who gave their lives defending the whole of their country? And isn't it just a reward for dictators who use military strength to take what they want?
Well, that's your language, not mine. Certainly not a betrayal. As I said to our allies yesterday, we recognize the incredible commitment that has been made over many years. And no country, as the President Trump has pointed out, has made a larger commitment to the Ukrainian mission than the United States of America, north of $300 billion. So the United States has invested in stabilizing those front lines after the aggression of Russia. There is no betrayal there. There is a recognition that the whole world and the United States is invested and interested in peace, a negotiated peace. As President Trump has said, stopping the killing. And so that will require both sides recognizing things they don't want to. That's why I think the world is fortunate to have President Trump. Only he at this moment could convene the powers that be to bring peace, and that's a welcome sign. My job as the defense secretary, working alongside NATO, is to ensure that the defense capabilities of this alliance are as strong and robust as possible to deter any future aggression on the continent. That's our role, to be leaders in NATO, and that's what we'll continue to do. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good morning. Today we will be talking about military capabilities that we...
Ah, il n'est pas encore là?
Oui, il est là, mais il va ici.
Okay.
Good morning. It's a real pleasure to welcome Piet Hekset again today to NATO. We had a wonderful dinner last night. We discussed a lot of things. Obviously, defense spending. Clearly, we have to do more. We have to ramp up defense spending because we know we cannot protect ourselves 4 or 5 years from now if we don't. And also, we need to ramp up defense spending because it is clear that the US rightly requires us to do more here on the European side and the Canadian side of NATO. It's only fair, it's only sensible. We also will discuss defense industrial production because we simply do not produce enough. This is including the US and up to and including Turkey and everything in between. We need to really get more output from our huge defense industrial base to keep up with Russia, the Chinese and others. And then during the lunch we will of course discuss Ukraine. What happened yesterday, of course, here in the meeting and also coming out of the White House will lead to debate. But there is a clear convergence emerging, and I'm very happy about it. And the convergence is, 1, we need peace in Ukraine. 2, we have to make sure that Ukraine is in a position of strength. And 3, as you, Pete, said yesterday, we can never, ever, ever again have a Minsk III situation where a peace is not durable. So collectively we'll work on that. We will discuss this amongst allies. I look forward to that. Pete, again, welcome to NATO, welcome on board.
Well, Mr. Secretary General, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And we did, my wife and I were happy to join you last night for dinner. We appreciate your hospitality and your leadership of this alliance, which is more relevant and more robust than ever. And that is certainly the U.S. commitment on behalf of President Trump, the recognition that the world is a safer place, a freer place when NATO is strong. And we certainly feel that way, and our investment reflects that. We echo your sentiments on defense spending. The President has said 2% is not enough, and we're going to argue that up to 5% is the necessary investment from NATO countries to ensure we're able to meet the threats of the future, whether that's Russia on the continent or an ascendant China who has their own ambitions as well. But also the defense industrial base, not just in Europe, but in the United States as well. We need the ability to create the systems and the munitions necessary to sustain a fight. One other thing I would add is foreign military sales, and that's something the United States is committed to expediting the process of ensuring that our allies get what they need when they need it. That is critically important. And then as you saw yesterday, there's one man in the world capable of convening the parties together to bring peace, and that's President Donald Trump, which he demonstrated yesterday in speaking to both Vladimir Putin and Zelensky, and bringing about, we believe, a durable, lasting peace on the continent, which his goal is to stop the killing and bring that peace, that it's in the interest of the continent and the United States to do so. We look forward to even more robust conversations today, realistic, honest, straightforward discussions, but all under the guise of full support and belief that a strong NATO alliance is what will defend the free world, alongside ensuring America maintains that leadership role. So, Mr. Secretary General, thank you.
Mr. Secretary, thank you so much.
You got it. Thank you.
Okay, see you guys later. Good morning. Good morning all, and welcome to this meeting of NATO defense ministers. We will focus on some key priorities for our summit in The Hague, which is only 4 months from now, I started to realize today. So it is quite soon. Defense spending will be priority number 1. To stay safe and to prevent war, we need to spend a lot more, especially in Europe and Canada. All allies stepped up defense investment in recent years, and European allies carry now a much bigger share of the burden than before. In the last 10 years, European allies and Canada have added more than $700 billion for defense. That means that in 2024, NATO allies in Europe and Canada invested almost $500 billion in defense, and that is nearly a 20% increase compared with 2023. But still, it is far from enough. We need to do much, much more. But we can do it. The proof is in what we did in 2023 going into 2024. The second priority is defense production and the need to boost the defense industry across the alliance. Yes, we do have the best industries in the world, from the US, the whole of Europe, including Turkey, the proud defense industry base in Turkey, but we must produce more, faster, and together to outpace our competitors, Russia, China, and others. Third, we will discuss Russian destabilization campaigns against our countries, including the Shadow Fleet, and how we respond. We know the Shadow Fleet is a large source of income for Russia. Baltic Sentry is a good example of how we can deter better. And then finally, when we leave this room and we go into lunch, we will discuss what more we can do to support Ukraine. Defense Minister Umerov and EU High Representative Kaja Kallas will join us. This concludes the public portion of the meeting. I want to thank the media for joining us, but please now leave the room.